Every time you pull up to the pump, you feel it. Fuel prices locked in the triple digits dictate the cost of your daily commute. For millions of riders on traditional petrol scooters, this is a fixed, unavoidable tax on simply getting to work. But the math of the two-wheeler market has recently shifted. Thanks to government subsidies and aggressive price cuts, buying a premium electric scooter today requires the exact same upfront cash as buying a high-end petrol model. Instead of vibrating at traffic lights and inhaling exhaust fumes, you get to glide in absolute silence, completely bypassing the petrol station. But then the hesitation sets in. People worry that skipping the fuel pump just means prepaying that exact same petrol money directly to a battery manufacturer. That anxiety is focused entirely on this hardware. The lithium-ion battery pack is widely viewed as a financial time bomb waiting to ruin your budget a few years down the road. Relying on gut feelings or the optimistic promises of dealership salespeople is a quick way to lose a lot of money. To figure out if an EV actually saves you cash, we have to look strictly at the 5-year mathematical reality of owning one. To make the numbers concrete, we need a baseline. Assume you are a highly predictable commuter, traveling 25 kilometers every single day. This table breaks down your daily realities. On the petrol side, you are burning about 2 rupees and 60 paise for every kilometer ridden. You deal with quick 5-minute refuels, but you also pay for regular engine oil changes and routine servicing. Over on the electric side, charging at home on a standard electricity slab drops your running cost to a mere 20 paise per kilometer. You trade the fast refuel for a 4 to 6 hour overnight charge, but you eliminate almost all mechanical maintenance. This bar chart projects those daily costs out over a 5-year lifespan. For the petrol scooter, adding the daily fuel burn to the periodic maintenance bills pushes your total operational spend to roughly 1.32 lakh rupees. For the electric scooter, covering the same distance over the same 5 years will cost you just about 16,000 rupees in electricity and minimal upkeep. The gap between these two bars is a net operational saving of about 1.15 lakh rupees. Securing that math requires one massive, non-negotiable trade-off. You absolutely must have a dedicated home parking spot with a 15-amp power socket. You also have to accept a steep drop in resale value. When you try to sell the EV in the secondary market, buyers will heavily discount the price out of fear that the battery is degraded. Yet the daily savings are so overwhelmingly large that they compensate for that depreciation. Over 5 years, the scooter effectively pays for itself through the fuel you never bought. That we still have to address the worst-case scenario. What happens if your battery completely dies outside of the warranty window and you have to buy a new one out of pocket? This matrix shows the 2026 estimated replacement costs and standard warranties. A new Ola battery runs 70 to 90,000 rupees. Ather sits between 60 and 80,000, while TVS and Bajaj models range from 45 to 80,000, depending on the capacity. If we take the 1.15 lakh rupees you saved on petrol and apply it to the absolute most expensive 90,000 rupee battery replacement, you are still mathematically in the green. The savings swallow the hardware cost. Furthermore, brands actively offer extended warranties, like Ather's Pro Pack or Ola's 8-year extension. These guarantee a free replacement if the battery's health drops below 70%. The trade-off for that peace of mind is a higher initial invoice price. You are essentially paying up front to lock yourself into their specific software and service ecosystem. You also have to monitor your usage habits, specifically avoiding a deep discharge, happening if you leave the scooter unplugged and unused for weeks. When the voltage drops that low, the scooter can brick itself entirely. Unless your specific brand explicitly offers deep discharge assurance, this mistake will void your warranty. As long as you understand your warranty terms and keep the scooter plugged in, a battery replacement is a highly predictable, pre-funded maintenance event. But what if you live in an apartment complex with street parking and no dedicated power plug? Without home charging, you might look at high-range tech leaders like the Ola S1 Pro to maximize the time between plug-ins. Or you might consider the premium performance of the Ather 450X, leaning heavily on its established proprietary charging network. Alternatively, you might trust legacy brand options like the Bajaj Chetak for its physical durability on rough urban routes. However, relying entirely on public hyperchargers pushes high currents into the battery. This heat accelerates the degradation of the cells, far faster than a slow, cool overnight charge at home. Then there is the logistical reality. Public chargers are frequently occupied by other riders, broken down, or force you to juggle a dozen different payment apps just to start a session. If you cannot charge where you sleep, an EV stops being a seamless money saver and turns into a daily logistical burden. This flowchart breaks down the final buying decision. It all begins with a single physical requirement. Do you have secure home parking with a 15-amp plug? If you park on the street, the tree ends immediately. Buy a petrol scooter. If yes, the next question is your commute. Do you drive more than 15 kilometers a day? If you have the mileage and the plug, your final choice simply splits your priorities. Pick Ola or Simple One for cutting-edge software, or a route toward TVS, Ather, and Bajaj for proven legacy reliability. To be clear, low-mileage riders, people making frequent intercity trips, and anyone relying on street parking must stick with a traditional petrol Activa or equivalent. But if you commute daily and can plug in at home, buying a petrol scooter in 2026 is a mathematically irresponsible decision. The choice isn't about being green or guessing at battery lifespans. It is strictly about looking at your daily physical infrastructure and buying the technological tool that fits it.